Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, here we successfully created one of the page for our change password, and here I have added the three of this field. One is the current password, new password, and the confirmation password, right? So now I want to update all that field, and here I have already updated that name, and that is our ID. So this ID actually our default one. So here that is actually our default one. When you install the Laravel live then live actually provided this one, right? So now it's okay. So now we have to put that action. So that is our action. So that will be as a method, will be as a post method, and they have the CSRF token. Now I want to create one of the route, and I just name it as a password. Okay, password update. So this type of one of the route I want to create. Now go to our web route, and to the web route, that will be one of the post method. So better I copy it and paste it. So first of all, that will be as one of the post method. I want to add that as a post. Okay, better I want to fill up this gap. So that will be as a post method, and then password I make it as an update. Okay, and that means password update. Into the profile controller, I want to create one of the method as a password update. And then our name, I have already put that name. So I have put that name will be route as a password update. So that will be as a password update. Perfect. So now we have to create this method, password update method in our profile controller, and that is our post one of the method. So now go there, and after this into the here I want to add that public, and then function, and then our method name. Okay, so that is actually one of the post out. So for the reasons here we have to add that request, and then the $request. Perfect. So I updated both of these, right? So now friend, if you want to add some of the validation, because of all here I have already added that validation error message, right? So I did that work maybe for our user controller. You can see that is actually the validation, right? So I just simply copy that validation from our user controller. If you want to add some of the validation, you can add it. So that is actually our AND method. Okay, that is our AND method. So here I want to add that validation for our two of this field, and I have already created two of this field name as old password, and old password I want to make it as a required. Okay, I want to make it as a required, and then there is another one as a password field also I want to make it as a required, and also I want to make it as a confirmed. With the pipeline I make it as a confirmed. Okay, that will be as a confirmed. Perfect. So now automatically it will be get this validation, and after that I want to update this data, right? So if you want to update, first of all I want to take one of the variable as a hash. Okay, hashed password. So that is our hash password. So with this hash password I added that authenticated user. That means with this authenticated user I want to get that our field name. That means which user is already logged in as a password, or field name as a password. Okay, that means the password. Because of all friend, right now I'm already logged in, right? You can say I have already logged in with one of the user, that is an admin, right? So right now that is actually our authenticated. Here we have to get it, and then we have to actually get this password field, and here we have to update this password, right? Whatever the password will be uploaded from our this new password area, from here we have to update this. We have to update this in particular this field. So that is the things I want to do. So here I get that our authenticated user ID, which user is already logged in. So this user password, I take the things with this variable, right? And now I want to put on the condition. I want to add one of the if condition, and into the if condition area I want to first of all check it, because here also we have to check it. Right now I am already logging, and I am logging with a specific one of the password, right? So first of all, into the current user, that means the current password, it should be check whatever the things you will be put on here, it should be check that is the appropriate with our this password or not for this user. Okay, so here it should be check it. So for the reasons here I want to check it, I make it with the hash, and to the hash that is actually another function as a check. So with this check I want to use it. I want to use that our requested data, that means requested our field name, a requested field name, whatever, as I told you, whatever the things you will pass from here. So that is our field name I have already declared, and you can see that is our field name I have declared name as a old password. So that is actually our input field, right? So here I simply add it. So from to the our old password input field, whatever the data I pass it, okay, here I take it with our, I just take that our user authenticated user data and take the things with this variable, and here I just simply pass it. I hope it's very much clear to you, friend. And after that, I want to add one of the variable, because here we take this our specific authenticated user ID data. So I take one of the variable as a user, and our user model, with this user model I want to find a specific row data, right? A row data means what? Row data means our authenticated ID data. That means which user is already logged in. So this authenticated user data I want to take. Okay, pretty much simple work. And after that, whatever the data you will pass from our this password input field. So here we have to make this password as a hash password, and after that we have to insert it on here, right? So now I want to do that work. So with this user, I want to access our password field, and then I want to make it as a hash. Okay, I want to make it as a hash, and hash I want to make it our whatever the data will be passed from our requested. That means the request and then password. Okay, so that means whatever the data you will be passed from our this input field. So that is actually not this one, sorry, this one. Whatever the data will be passed from our this input field, that is our input field name as a password, right? So you can say this is the data I want to make it as a hash make. That means with this hash make, automatically it should be change it. Automatically it should be make it as a hash password, and it should be saved in our user and this password field. That means that is the password field here. It should be saved. Okay. So friend, that's all. And after that I want to use it. That means I save it. So with this user, I want to save this data. So simply I save it. And when you save it, I want to do this user will be logged out. Okay, so here I want to make it as an authenticated user ID. That means which user is already logged in, this user will be as a logout. So that is the default one of the function as a log out. That means this user will be automatically log out from to the session. Okay, and when it should be log out here, where exactly it should be redirected. So I want to do it should be redirect. So return and then redirect to one of the route, and I pass it to the default one of the route as a logging or UTE. Okay, route, and then here I want to pass it with our default one as a logging. So that will be return direct to the logging. And here if you want to pass some of the message, you can pass it. So right now it's okay with me. And here I also want to do an else. Okay, else it should be return the same back page. Okay, I want to make it as a return the back page. So here I want to do that work. Perfect. So friend, that's all you have to do. Okay, so that is actually our total condition, and here we have to do that work. So if you use that as a user, I have already used that as a auth, but I didn't add that hash. Okay, right here I'm using that hash. So make that sure you use it. You can see I use that auth, I use that user model, but I didn't add that hash. If you go to that action, the Fortify, the create user, here you can see that is actually the hash. You have to load it, but I copy it from here, and now after this I use it. So that is our hash. So make that sure you use it, rather than it will be show some of the error actually. So that's all. So if everything okay, it should be worked. Now click as a save all, and now if you go your site, now I click as a refresh. So first of all, I want to check that validation is that perfectly working or not. You can actually load a lot of the validations. So right now I make it as a required. So if you make it as a empty, now you can see it's still showing as a this one. Okay, here actually it's visible because of all into the edit profile. Maybe I make it as a required. You can see I make it as a required. So I don't want to make it as a required. I have already added some of the validations. I want to check this validation. Okay, I just simply close it, save all, and now refresh it. and now click the submit. Yeah, you can see it's now perfectly getting our validation. That means the old password field is required and the password field is required. Perfect. So now friend, I am already logging with this user. So this user has already one of the passwords. So right now I want to put that our appropriate password as udemy12345. So that my current user password, and now I want to change it with that 123456. Okay, I name it 123456, 123456. That is our new password and the confirm password. So if everything okay, automatically it should be log out from to this session. Right now, if you click as a submit, yes, that means it's appropriately done. You can see it's now perfectly changed that our password, and now this session is destroyed and automatically this authenticated user is now log out. So for the reasons here I check it, so when it will be perfectly saved, then automatically authenticated user will be log out and return redirect to our logging page. And you can see it's now perfectly return redirect to our logging page. I hope it's very much clear to you. So right now if you logging with your old password as a Udemy 12345, I want to check it, click as a sign in. Yeah, you can see you cannot actually able to log in Udemy 12345. Click as again. No, it's not actually appropriate. So now I want to access our new one, the 123456. Click as a sign in. Yes, you can see right now I'm successfully logged in. Right, friend? So here we now successfully logged in with the 123456. Perfect. So right now that means our change password is working perfectly. So that is our change password. So right now also if you want to add again, I want to change it 123456. That is my current password. I put that Udemy 12345, Udemy 12345. Now click as a submit. Successfully logged out, and that means password has been changed successfully, right? And now I want to logging with the same. That means admin at the Udemy 12345. Yeah, perfectly. Now I am logging. So friend, here we successfully complete that change password option. So right now from here you change your password if you want to access your profile. So that is our profile, right? So here you can see there is a clear profile. So better I want to do for our profile URL, I want to add these things into the profile. That is just the link, right? So here I want to update it. So that is in our header. So for the profile view, I have created this route. So route will be as a profile view. So I copy it. So that is in our admin body header. Into the header area, there have one of the images. There is images and there is a profile, right? So here I want to update this route. That means here I want to change it. It will be the route, and route will be as our this one. That means a profile view, right? So that will be our profile view page. Now if you click the save all, now if you go there, click the refresh. So now I want to go to another page. Now I want to access that profile. Yeah, you can see it's perfectly loaded our profile. So from here, if you can edit this profile, you can change that password as well. So in our next video, I want to discuss about one of the most interactive things. Like here, that is our menu, right? So right now I am already into the manage profile. You can see manage profile is selected. If you go to that user profile, so now our user profile is not selected. So here, if you go to our theme, into the theme area, you can see they have also one of the highlighted function. That means the active function. So I want to make it as a dynamic. That means right now, when you actually access the dashboard, then our dashboard will be selected. When you select as a manage user or the add user, then automatically this manage user will be as a selected. Okay, just like our theme. So how can do that work? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.